Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this playoff preview here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We're live from Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery. I'm your host, Nate Mullins, joined by my co-host this week, Connor Roush.
How's it going?
Is this Connor or Rana?
Oh, we're Connor today.
We're Connor today, all right. Once again, we're live here at Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, thanks to the Wizard, who is on the ones and twos. Greg Kinn helping us out, making us look good.
I can't reach the button, so I can do that.
We still have plenty of time, folks. If you want to come out here and join us, there's plenty of seats available. Come on out here, grab some food, get yourself something to eat. If you don't want to sit down and join us, I mean, you can always grab your order to go, or you can call it in for delivery right here at Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery. This playoff preview is brought to you by Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Drawn to the Surface Tattoo and Piercing Studio, as well as our friends here at Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery. So, Connor, let's talk some playoff football.
Yeah.
What are we thinking?
I mean,
There's a lot to talk about.
There is a lot to talk about, but obviously the biggest thing that stands out is there's 4 lucky teams in each region that get a bye week this week.
That's crazy.
Like, we've seen what the bye week can do to the college football. So what's it going to be like for these high schoolers?
That's what I was thinking. Is this going to be a good thing, or is this going to be a detriment to some of these teams? They don't have the option to decline it.
Yeah.
So you have to take the bye. So
Right.
if you're one of them top 4 teams, it's something you fought for, you earned.
Mm-hmm.
But, at the same time, if I'm a coach, I want that momentum.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, it could be on your way if you got injuries, get healthy. And then too, I've seen some schools, they're doing interleague or inter-team scrimmages on Friday. Just to have a game on Friday so they're not cold next week.
That's interesting. We'll see. There's a lot of teams in our area that are in action this week. There's a couple of them that are not. They're on byes.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a few teams, obviously, in our area that did not make the playoffs. Both Tiffin teams did not qualify. Columbian, I think they finished 14th in their region.
Yep.
And then Calvert finished, I think, 13th in their region.
They missed it by half a point.
0.05 points.
That's crazy.
I mean, just so close. But, with a 4-6 record, I think they, you could go back to a couple of games during the season. You could say, all right, well, that game, that St. Paul game,
Yep.
If you hold on to that lead and you win that game, you're in the playoffs.
You are.
So you had everything that you wanted in your grasp. You just, obviously things didn't go your way, but I think it's a learning lesson. But I think, that Calvert squad was really young this year.
They were.
And they're going to be young again next year.
Yep.
There's a lot of young guys that were playing key roles for them this year. So
you're trying to figure out a new quarterback with Charlie Palm and then all that again. So just different factors. But, it's definitely something to keep your head up for next year and be positive about it.
And for Tiffin Columbian, if they would have beaten Perkins, they probably would have been in the playoffs.
I thought after the first half,
and
they were going to get them,
They were so close.
Perkins just came out and they were playing their ball and
they scored 14 points in 60 seconds in that game to take the lead. They were down 14-6. Then 60 seconds later, it was 20-14, and Perkins really just never
walked away with it.
They never looked back. So, a big win for the Pirates as they are first round. They squeaked into. I think they're hosting a game this week. Right?
Yeah. Perkins. They are hosting Clearview.
Yes.
Yep. They got the 6th seed, so they play 5-5 Clearview.
So, interesting matchup with that. We'll get into matchups here in just a minute, but Connor, just your thoughts on this playoff system. What do you think? We talked about the bye. Now, what do you think for these teams that have this first-round game? Do you think that's an advantage for them?
Yeah, because, that's another game. You got another game there. You don't have a week off to where you can get thrown off a schedule. Or that, too, is you're preparing, you are playing on Friday night instead of going to practice on Friday the next week. And that could be a positive, too, because you could work on mistakes out of that first game compared to playing a team on a bye week that could be making mistakes they usually don't.
I think you're going to see quite a few upsets.
I can see that, too.
In the second round that you would normally not see based on the fact that you've got teams that are resting and teams that are playing with some momentum.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of teams that, they needed some momentum to get into the playoffs. You look at Seneca East as one of those teams.
Yep.
They're playing with a lot of momentum coming off that big win over Mohawk.
They really are.
And that's a team that we'll talk about here in just a little bit. But, Connor, if they lost that game to Mohawk, I think they might be on the outside looking in.
Yeah, I don't think they would have made it in. So
that's a tough region.
I mean, Ed Phillips getting his team in for another, what is this, like 10 years now? That every year he's coached Sun Keys, he's got his team into the playoffs. So they knew what they were doing Friday night at Mohawk.
And I mean, like we always say, with when those two teams match up, don't just forget the records.
Yep, exactly.
Doesn't matter.
Yep.
So let's get into these matchups. We'll start at the top because we've got our eyes on some area matchups, and then we'll get into the matchups that we're going to be covering this weekend. We'll talk about those as well. But first, I want to get into, Division 2. We're looking at Region 6 right now. I'm looking at Fremont Ross versus Olmsted Falls. They're traveling to Olmsted Falls for this one. Matchup between 2, 6, and 4 teams. Connor, what do you see with this one?
Well, what I've noticed this year is Fremont Ross, they definitely taken advantage of teams 500 and below. And then any team that are above 500, they couldn't find their groove this year. Definitely getting outscored in their games. But, I mean, they've obviously played good enough to get into the playoffs, but this ain't going to be an easy game. I mean, off of Drew Pasture's fantastic 50, he has Olmsted Falls ranked 12th in all of D2. So, even with the 6-4 record, he's got them 12. That's up there. So that just shows that their schedule, they play, I mean, their first game of the year was against Mentor. And they're undefeated. They're 10-0, and then they lost to Avon and North Ridgeville as well. So they definitely have played some really high caliber teams.
Yeah, for sure. So Fremont Ross, you talk about Coach Chad Long and that program over there. To be able to get into the playoffs, obviously, is an accomplishment. But not just get in, but now looking at a 6-4 record, a 500 above 500 record. This is a team that I feel like they're playing with a lot of confidence, and when you talk to anybody on that team, the chemistry is there with this team. The brotherhood's there. These guys are they're spending a lot of time together outside of the locker room, outside of the practice field.
Yep.
So it's a feel-good story, and I got my eyes on them. I'm following the Little Giants. I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, I'm rooting for them too.
I want to see them pull the upset here.
They hosted Napoleon week 9 and only held them to 7 points. They lost 7-0. So against a really strong 8-2 Napoleon team, I'm not totally counting out Fremont Ross going to Olmsted Falls on Friday.
The winner will play at number 3 Avon, who is 9-1. They are the defending state champs in Division 2. We'll move on to Division 4, Region 14. I'm looking at Clyde at Bellevue. This one is a Week 1 rematch. And that one, I mean, was a nail-biter between those two schools.
It was played at Clyde. It was 33-23 Bellevue. The thing I took away out of that game was Bellevue just had their rushing game going that night. They're running it. So they have Bellevue favored by 11 points in this game. But Clyde, man, they've already seen each other. And seeing some of the games Bellevue has been in this year, close games, this is one I've highlighted that could be an upset in Clyde advancing to Week 12.
All right, well, we'll keep our eyes on that one. Obviously, new coach at Bellevue, he's made some waves. They made some noise, and it's not the same old Bellevue team that you're used to seeing. So I'm excited to see how this matchup plays out because on paper, it looks like a pretty evenly matched game.
It does.
I mean,
yep.
The winner will play at number 4 Bath. They are 8-2 on the season. And then the other side of that region, I'm looking at number 6 Perkins as they host number 11 Clearview. Perkins finished 7-3. Clearview at 5-5. Anything about this matchup?
I really don't think there's much on this matchup other than if you got Perkins on your paper. I mean, favored by 42 in this game, and they're ranked 5th in all of D4. So
yeah, they should be able to take care of business in this one. It looks like a pretty favorable matchup for the Pirates. But it's playoff football.
It is.
So you still got to show up. You still got to play the games. So we'll move on to Division 5. I'm looking at Region 18 right now. Number 11, Port Clinton, who is 6-4. They are playing at Milan Edison, I should say.
Yep, Milan.
We say it Milan, Ohio. They are 7-3 on the season. Now, Edison, up and down since the Week 3.
Bryson Whitmer injury.
Yeah, Bryson Whitmer went down with the injury in Week 3. Kind of an up and down season since then. But they can play with anybody. This is a tough team. And they're hosting Port Clinton, who they've been hanging with some good teams this year too. Look at their record. They've really been putting some good tape out there.
Yes, they have been. I mean, they played each other in Week 8 at Port Clinton, and Port Clinton came out with the 21-17 win. So you know that Edison is hungry for this game here to beat them, especially at their field.
Yeah.
What a beautiful facility they have over there. Edison.
Well, you got a chance to go over there.
Yeah, it was real nice. And I mean, their coach is fantastic, leads a great group of men, and you know that even though Bryson can't be playing, he's going to be on the sideline acting like one of the coaches there, helping his brothers out.
Oh, for sure. So we're looking at Edison and Port Clinton. That one's a good matchup, folks. It's in Milan, but I tell you what, Port Clinton's already taken that matchup once this year. The winner will play at number 3 Genoa, who's 9-1. The Rockets. How about the Rockets?
Genoa, they've surprised me a little bit.
They snuck up on some people this year.
And I mean, after Genoa beat Oak Harbor, I'm like, all right, this is a good team right here. And then they went and destroyed Eastwood, and after that, Genoa is going to be one of those teams to where you're going to have to bring everything you have and then some.
Yeah.
To beat Genoa. They're that type of team this year.
All right, well, before we get into the big, juicy matchups, because we've got a lot to go over in Division 6 and Division 7 and our coverage matchups, before we get into those matchups, let's take a step aside, a quick timeout. We're going to go on a commercial break. We'll come back, and we'll break down all of the area matchups in Region 22, Division 6, and then also we have a matchup in Region 25 to take a look at in Division 7. And then we're also looking at 26 in Division 7 as well. Once again, this playoff preview show is brought to you by Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, your legacy Federal Credit Union, Drawn to the Surface Tattoo and Piercing Studio, as well as our friends here at Benchwarmers. We'll be right back after this.
Don't go anywhere. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports. Get to know the faces that bring you the best in sports, life, and everything in between. It's the Pulse Podcast. Every Monday at 7 o'clock on YouTube. Only on Heart of Ohio Sports. More than just a game, this is Heart of Ohio Sports.
My stomach is messed up.
The game's almost over. Can't you wait?
No, I gotta go right now.
Wow, really?
Swung on, hit the center, well hit. Back, and this one's gone. A home run for Connor Moyer on an 0-2
Needed
pitch.
that.
Smokes it to dead center.
Oh man, are you kidding me?
It happens. Never miss a moment. Heart of Ohio Sports. Stop down to Benchwarmers in Tiffin or call it in for delivery. Fresh cut fries, locally sourced ingredients, and phenomenal service. Give the Tiffin store a call at 567-268-9268 and place your delivery order now. Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery. Set your lineup with confidence. It's Fantasy Football Focus every Sunday morning at 10:30. Join John Sherman, Brandon Banks-Shearer, and Sean Cole as they break down starts, sits, and sleepers all across the league. Live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, only from Heart of Ohio Sports.
Welcome to your Legacy Federal Credit Union, your trusted community credit union for over 70 years. We're not just a credit union, we're your personal financial counselor. Your Legacy Federal Credit Union is a full-service financial institution tailoring solutions to your needs. Whether it's your first home or planning for the future, we're here to help you find success. Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, a legacy built on trust, commitment, and community.
Your legacy.
You're locked into the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Heart of Ohio Sports.
All right, welcome back. We're live here at Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery with this playoff preview show right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Nate Mullins, Connor Roush with you, and we got the Wizard Greg Kinn on the ones and twos. Once again, we're here at Benchwarmers. Come on out and join us, or call in your order, pickup or delivery. I suggest the pretzel bacon burger, but they do have a really good thing on the menu right now. I just saw on the board over there the jalapeno popper grilled cheese. They have $1 million grilled cheese here, I'm telling you. It's not $1 million, but it looks like $1 million. All right, let's talk Region 22, Division 6 football. There is a lot to unpack here, Connor. A lot of our local teams in this region in action this weekend. There's going to be 3 of our coverage teams in action this weekend. And you talk about the first matchup I have my eye on right now is this Carey-Patrick Henry game.
That's the game of the region right there.
I really do think it is.
That's the game of the region. I mean, you can't look at the beginning of the season for Carey when all 3 of those teams combined are 27-3. And then you got to throw in there too. They beat a 9-1 Colonel Crawford, gave them their only loss of the year, and then just barely lost to Mohawk, who's 8-2. So that schedule is definitely one of they played one of the toughest schedules in D6 this year. Carey going to Patrick Henry. I mean, Patrick Henry, they're favored by 16 in this game. They're going into this game, their only losses against 10-0 Liberty Center and 8-2 Archbold. And Archbold being in Region 22 as well. So
that's an interesting.
Or not region.
Region 22 on the other side of the bracket here.
Yep, the winner of Seneca East and Woodmore play them.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, just very tough teams, and we know how this Patrick Henry team is, just a little bit. But I think that Carey's going to go up there and give Patrick Henry everything to run for their money, because Jonathan knows what he's doing up there.
100%. But I mean, so does that Patrick Henry coach. I mean, that coach, that staff, they've been together so long there. There's so much tradition, so much. Just the foundation is so strong there, They know what they are every single year, and it's hard to stop them.
And what's nice too is like both of these programs play in conferences that prepare you for the playoffs. So I think that's what really helps them have playoff success as well.
Absolutely. All right, and then let's see on the others, also in that same region, Western Reserve at Bluffton, because the winner will play at Hopewell Loudon. Now, Connor, you're looking at this matchup. I mean, on paper, both of these teams look really good. Western Reserve has surprised some people this year.
They finished their last 4 games without giving up a point.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And I mean, there's not really any notable teams on there. Kind of the lower teams in the Firelands. Firelands has been a weird conference this year.
It really has.
To me, it's been weird. But like they lost to Monroeville and Margaretta. Those are Western Reserve's only losses this year. They're usually a pretty good team. And then, Bluffton. I had a chance to go see Bluffton play Lima Central Catholic this year. And Bluffton's a pretty good team, but the only issue that I see with them is how can they stop the run game.
Okay.
So
and that's
if
huge.
Western Reserve can run the ball pretty well, then I think that they can give Bluffton a run for their money.
And once again, the winner of that game will go on to face Hopewell Loudon in Bascom next week. We'll be on that one right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Keeping in that same region, I'm looking at Seneca East versus Woodmore. Now, we talked about that Carey-Patrick Henry game. The winner of that one will go on to face Margaretta. Margaretta's the number 1 seed in the region. Now, that would be a really interesting matchup no matter who ends up in that game.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a great matchup. There's some good quality football teams on that side of the bracket right there.
I mean, look what Gibsonburg just did to Margaretta. I mean, you guys we had the opportunity to go see Hopewell Loudon and Margaretta and Bascom, and how back and forth of a game that was. Come down to the last, few seconds.
The battle of the bands.
And then, Gibsonburg goes in and having the lead with 38 seconds left in the game, and they lose it. So that shows me Patrick Henry and Carey, Margaretta, they better be preparing like no other, because that's not going to be an easy game in Week 12.
One thing I know about that Margaretta team, they're going to be prepared.
They will.
They'll be prepared.
They will.
I mean, that's a seasoned team. They got a lot of seniors on that team, a lot of leadership over there. They've earned that top spot in the region. But on the other side of the region, I'm looking at I'm looking at Seneca East versus Woodmore. Now, we're going to be covering that one here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We'll have that one for you on the Adrenaline stream. It'll be live on Facebook, on YouTube, on our Twitch channel. Of course, you can always find it at heartofohiosports.com. Click on the Watch Live tab. That's the best way to find all of our games. Both games will be on that Watch Live tab this Friday. But Seneca East, Woodmore. Connor, this one, I feel like 2 7-3 teams. This one's going to have some fireworks, man.
This
has
sure.
potential to see a lot of fireworks.
I mean, you got to look at Woodmore. They have a rusher right now that I think he's already eclipsed 2,000. He might be close to 2,500 yards.
Unless they haven't updated the stats. I had him at 18, just shy of 1,900 yards.
Okay, I knew he was close to 2,000.
Yeah, Higgins had him just shy of 2,000 today. So when I can go back and check once again, but he's close. And either way, that is a remarkable accomplishment in 10 games.
Yeah.
For a high school football player.
So you got that rushing threat from Woodmore, but I mean, after what Seneca East did there over in Sycamore last week.
1,897 yards, 30 touchdowns. He's averaging 8.3 yards per carry.
Have you seen that from a high school
just
kid?
under
in
190 yards a game,
Just casual.
Nothing big,
30 rushing touchdowns
ridiculous.
In 10 weeks.
That is unreal.
That's insane.
But they also have a quarterback who can complement their run game as well. Calvin Lipstraw is a guy that I got my eye on this passing attack. I really feel like that's going to be the X factor in this game because Seneca East they're going to sell out to try to stop the run.
Yep.
It's going to be up to Lipstraw to come up with the big play when they need it, and as his receiver's going to be able to step up. Guys like Wesley Kaiser, he's leading the team with over 500 yards receiving, 6 touchdowns. They need guys like that to step up, and it's going to be a big game. I really do feel like that one's a huge game. You don't want to miss that one right here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Yep, that's definitely highlighted, and I mean, if you just look at this Woodmore program these last few years and just becoming one of those teams, a bigger name in our Northwest Ohio area.
Coach Staker has done just an outstanding job with that program in just 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years. He's flipped that. I mean, they hadn't had a winning season in 10 years before he took the helm last year. Now, 2 straight
we're
playoff
back to back.
appearances.
Yep.
Wow. Remarkable. But, I mean, that just goes to show you, the right guy at the helm in the right spot, anything can happen.
Yes, it can.
So, once again, Attica, we'll be over there for that Seneca East versus Woodmore matchup on Friday night. Make sure you tune in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
You think that Seneca East makes any special cowbells for playoff games?
I mean, I think they don't make them, but I think they have them there's the regular season cowbell, and then there's the playoff cowbell. That one's in a box, hidden away in a closet. They only break that out when they get to the playoffs. So, I think there is a little bit of special, something going into the playoffs because they get louder.
Yeah,
it
seems like it.
Maybe it's just me, but they get louder over there when it comes playoff time.
I mean, we've seen them student sections too. Oh, yeah. That student section, it's gonna be alive Friday night over in Attica.
You're giving me ideas now, Nate. might have to link up with Nostradamus sometime this week and see if I can borrow that decibel reader.
there you go. Yeah,
there we go. I like that. See if we can get some stadium pulse going on.
Oh yeah.
Right.
All right, so let's move on. Region 25. We're going to Division 7 now, folks. We got a couple matchups to look at in Division 7 before we wrap this up. Norwalk St. Paul facing off against Warren JFK. I got my eyes on this matchup because the winner of that one go on to face McDonald. And then on the other side, or on that same side of the bracket, Malvern taking on Ashtabula St. John. The winner of that one will face Monroeville. The only reason I have these 2 games highlighted is because I'd be interested to see. Now, you said McDonald's a really good team.
Yes.
They are the number 1 seed in that region.
Yep.
But Norwalk St. Paul and Monroeville finished the season in an epic battle.
That was insane.
I would love to see that matchup part 2 in the regional semifinal. That could potentially play out. That's why I had those matchups highlighted. I think that'd be really cool to see.
I'd love to see it too. And St. Paul moving next week and playing McDonald, that'd be a good test.
They got to win this week, though.
And they do that, yep. But
they got to beat Warren JFK. That's easier said than done.
It sure is.
Now let's move to Division 7, Region 26. This is the last region we're looking at here. The first matchup I have my eyes on is Gibsonburg, the 5 seed, taking on and hosting Ridgedale, the 12 seed. Now, Ridgedale was the team that made it in over Calvert. They made it in by 0.05 points over the Senecas. They had a 6-4 record on the regular season, but strength of schedule, not really there.
No, I pretty much have Gibsonburg all over this game. It won't be anything too special.
Well, they're going to be seeking some revenge after that Margaretta loss. And
oh, for sure.
Missing out on the SBC title last week because they had it in their grasp. I mean, it was right there.
I mean, Gibsonburg favored by 39 this game, and then they have Columbus Grove looking down over this one and taking the winner out of this game here. But Gibsonburg, it'll just be a nice feeling into the postseason. Week 11 game. It'll be all right.
I had a conversation with Coach Schaefer from the Columbus Grove Bulldogs. Phenomenal guy. They've got a media program going on down there. He wanted to pick our brain about what we do.
Okay.
Talk to us about the brand a little bit.
Yeah.
He's a big fan of what we do.
That's awesome.
He said he's been watching us for a while, and he likes what we do. And big shout out to Coach Schaefer. Everything they're doing over there at Columbus Grove. I mean, they got a great program over there, obviously. But anything that we can do to help, send us some suggestions. Or hey, if you're an intern, you're looking for an opportunity, come join us. We're looking for new faces. But once again, you talk about that Gibsonburg team, Connor. What stands out to you about that Gibsonburg team? When you look at that team, what's the deciding factor for them? Like, what is it going to take for them to get over that hump when they have to go to Columbus Grove next week?
I mean, I think a perfect example was at Margaretta, what they did to stop a very offensive power team at their place too, at Margaretta. So as long as they can play their game, I think they'll win it on the ground.
Okay.
Just keep rushing because I mean, Gibsonburg, we've known them as rushing the ball. So and their only shutout this year was against Hopewell Loudon. Other than that, I mean, they're scoring like 30+ points a game, and they're not giving up many points at all.
And the last matchup we have our eyes on is the matchup we'll have right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. It'll be on the X Stream. You can find that on YouTube. That's right, search Heart of Ohio Sports X Stream on YouTube. Or, once again, you can just go to heartofohiosports.com, click on the Watch Live tab. You can find both of the broadcasts on Friday. They'll start about 6:50, so make sure you tune in to the website right around that time. If you don't see it, refresh the feed. Refresh it a couple times until you see it. It'll be live, once again, right around 6:50 for the pregame show, 7 o'clock kickoff right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Mohawk versus Montpelier. The Locomotives.
That's a wild. How would you like that to be your mascot?
I'm telling you what. I'm looking up this team today, and I'm looking up logos and looking up graphics for this team, and they have such a cool concept. Like the concept of the team name and the mascot, everything about this. Greggy, you're going to have some fun with this one.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Did you see the helmet with the train tracks on the top of it's a stripe down the middle of the helmet that's train tracks.
See, now you got to do that to me before. I haven't even seen it yet, man.
It's really cool.
But you know how much I love a good school that's not generic, that's something that's a little bit different. Every once in a while when we get to these other teams, you run into the same, the Redmen, the Redskins, the this and that. You've done it all before, but when you find a nice team like that, it's like, oh, this is fun.
Now we got the Locomotives.
So this one's going to be fun for Greg anyways. I don't know how fun it's going to be for the Locomotives, though, because this Mohawk team is going to be pretty upset for the fact that they don't have a bye this week.
Yeah, I mean, Eric Daniel, he knows whenever their team's down that he lights a fire under that team's butts, and under their butts. and we've seen it how they respond to adversity. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to see, especially how Andon Klaus comes out. This is going to be his first playoff game starting, and then you got weapons all over the place, too, for them.
I don't know anything further. He wasn't able to finish the game on Friday, so my hope is that he's able to come back and play the game on this Friday. Because, I mean, if not, the kid that came in for him, a little shaky at first, but he started to settle in towards the end of the game. Yeah. So, I mean, if they need him to step in, they know they have somebody that can step in and fill the role. But Andon Klaus, that's their playmaker, has been all year long. I mean, Caden Bish obviously that's the Batman and Robin in the backfield back there. But
I was going to say this is for Andon Klaus. Your wishful thinking, your hopeful thinking is maybe they just realize too little, too late. What's the risk of, why get him hurt?
That's what I was hoping.
So it's like maybe it's just like better safe than sorry situation, and we'll be good to go.
He took some pretty big hits that game.
The last hit that he took, that's why I'm kind of worried, because I was watching the ref footage. Because we had a GoPro on the ref. Denny Uhl was out there, and I'm watching the GoPro footage, and I seen when he got hit and got taken out, and he was already being tackled, and then another player came in and hit him from behind. And, it was just momentum.
It was a physical game.
It was a clean play.
Very physical game.
There was nothing wrong with the hit, but it was just like he got hit so hard,
he got banged up,
and it took him a while to get up from that one. So,
that's
like I said, I'm hopeful that he's okay. I want to see him play on Friday because he's a key part. An integral part to that team.
And, that's what you're hoping for is that they know that, They're like, if we're going to look for playoff success, he can't be out here getting hurt, so.
For sure. But once again, Mohawk hosting Montpelier. That'll be right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. You can find that on the X stream. Search Heart of Ohio Sports X stream on YouTube. Make sure you give us a follow.
Barry Robinson commented, he said Klaus isn't out, so I'm not sure if that is it. He's asking.
Oh, I don't know. That's what we were just talking about, Barry. I have no idea if he's out or not. So he did not finish the game, but I don't like to speculate on injuries at all, because that's not our job. Our job is just to report what we know, and what I know is that he didn't finish the game. So that's all I know.
We'll just we'll give the classic coach answer and be like, that'll be a game time decision.
Yeah. And my hope is that he's able to play and that he's fine, because, he sat on the sidelines for the end of the game, but they did right after – they took him off the field. They didn't waste any time at the end of the game of getting right over to the locker room, making sure he was okay. So, like I said, I want to make sure that he's okay. That's a good question, though, Barry. It's a valid question, but that's not something that I can ask a question about to the coach. I can, ask if he's going to play or not, but that's about the furthest I can go. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got, man. We got some great playoff matchups for you this weekend. Seneca East versus Woodmore on the Adrenaline stream, and then you got Mohawk versus Montpelier on the X stream. But Connor, you're not going to be there for any of it this weekend.
No. I will be saving lives at Fostory on Friday.
You gotta put your time in now so you can get the next 2 weeks off, huh?
Yep.
You got to get your Hopewell games off.
I know. I gotta. Hey, I'm ready to watch my Chieftains play this postseason here.
For sure.
There's always a little bit of favoritism for me over here on that. But
speaking of the Chieftains, man, they looked good the last week of the season against Woodmore.
Yeah.
And getting everybody back healthy is huge.
They
got W. Wald back. They got Kellen Frankert back that last game of the year.
Yep.
You saw the recap. If you didn't, go back and check it out here on Heart of Ohio Sports. But no, it's great to have all those guys back, and then you get an extra week to rest.
You do.
And then now you hopefully get those guys right back into the rhythm of playing football again.
Just the biggest thing is getting out of week 13.
That's right.
Get out of week 13.
Back to talking about Klaus real quick. Barry Robinson comment just said that he's heard that he's questionable, which seems to be right up the alley that we would assume was happening.
Yeah.
So none of us really know anything.
Hey, Klaus boys are tough.
Oh, yeah.
They're
tough.
Sure.
He's tough as a $2 steak. That kid is, for sure. But that might just be to keep Montpelier coaches guessing. You never know.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of gamesmanship.
All the mind games,
For sure. Once again, this playoff preview show has been brought to you by our friends here at Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, as well as Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, and Drawn to the Surface Tattoo and Piercing Studio. Once again, we're live this weekend. Make sure you check us out here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We'll have Seneca East versus Woodmore and Mohawk versus Montpelier. For Connor Roush and Greg Kinn, I'm Nate Mullins, signing off here on Heart of Ohio Sports. This is our final show of the year here at Benchwarmers. Make sure you stop out and say hello. Tell them Heart of Ohio Sports sent you. But as for us, we'll see you Friday. Have a great night, everybody.